Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
I just hope my dad sends my life.
I just don't want to feel so bad anymore.
Smile, put on a happy face.
I haven't had one in my terrifying life. All I have are negative thoughts.
It's like this is all a game, and I haven't been told what rules are, or even worse. If I had, I am ill-equipped to follow them. I become spiteful. I am not for this world.
Where are you going? Don't push me. I need you. Where are you? I'll never forget you. Don't run away.
Okay, yay, we're doing it. We're finally doing it. Okay, hi. This is actually not. Fuck, I hate this. Is never easy. It's never easy. This is not easy. It's not going to be easy. But I didn't know which one was going to be more comfortable. Me standing, me sitting. It's just, oh my god. Yes, hi. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? So yeah, I really just want to get straight into this and not like waste any time. Like I always say, I don't want to waste time, and I end up wasting time. But so today I'm going to share something with you about myself that's like, you know, but like yeah, I think it's time. I think it's just time I talked about this or whatever. And yeah, you know, like yeah, I'm here to speak my truth, I guess. Speak truth, I don't know, I need to get into this. So where do we begin with all this? Okay, let's begin. So growing up, around like in my teenage years, I started to feel very insecure in my abilities. Things that I thought I was good at, things that I labeled as like, oh, this is my thing, or I'm good at this is my strength. The things that I found like my identity in, the things I identified with, I started to feel like I wasn't that good. I started to feel like I wasn't that good at them. Like, oh, this is actually not my thing. You know, they just didn't fit anymore, which led me to like raise a lot of questions about myself, like who I am, what am I good at. I started to feel like I really have nothing going for me, and I didn't have anything like to solidify myself with, to identify with and be like, this is my thing. So as I started to interact with guys, which was pretty much like I think after high school, because I was pretty much in an all-girls school my entire life, unless you count tuition. Like I did attend tuition at cool schools, but like, you know, yeah, I don't know. And baby class, yes, and baby class. Where am I going with this? Yes, and baby class, I think, yeah, before I started like at Mary Queen of Peace, I was at Woodfield, I think. I wonder if it's Wood or Hood. Is it Hood Field? Because it's like Hood Field. Okay, no, babe, stop. Yeah, I was at Woodfield, like I think like for a period of time before I went to MQB in baby class. Anyway, what? Tangents, bruh. Tangents. So as I started to interact with guys more, I noticed that I would get comments like, oh my god, like, you're so cool. And it's like, oh my god, you're so cool. You know, you're the realest. You know, you're not like other girls. You know, like, you're different. You know, you're this, you're that. And me feeling like I really had nothing going for me. And everything, like I kind of really just like latched onto this as like my identity. It kind of became the thing I started to identify with as my thing. I really held on to it like, yo, I really have nothing else going for me right now. This became like my sort of like, I don't know, superpower or whatever. Feeling like this is the one thing that I had, you know, I started to feel pressure to maintain this title. It's like, yo, we gotta hold on to this, because if we lose this, like, we got nothing. So it's like I now had to actively work on maintaining this title of cool girl. So, you know, feeling this pressure to maintain this title of cool girl, you know, not like other girls, you know, different girl, and actively working towards maintaining this title, like in my interaction with males and everything, caused me to become some sort of pick-me. Yeah, I was definitely a pick-me.
This is really embarrassing.
So like in my interaction with males and everything, I really wasn't trying to be associated with other females. So one thing we hear a lot about females from males is that like females are overly sensitive, you know, and that like we're not very logical, like we rely on our emotions more than our logic. So in my friendships or my interactions with males, I wasn't able to freely express my dissatisfaction with certain things in fear of coming off as overly sensitive, you know, or like hysterical. Like if I'm not happy with or about something, if the interaction was just like unpleasant, if certain things that were said like were offensive, I wasn't able to like come out openly and be like, yo, like this ain't it, you know, because like in my interactions like with females, you know, and everything, like if something ain't it, I'm like bitch, I'm telling you straightforward, like I'm going to be upfront with you, you know, and there's no fear of coming off as like overly sensitive or crazy or like whatever, but yeah, there was never that transparency with guys and everything, because it's like yeah, they'll probably just be like, she's just being, you know, like she's just being a female, you know, like she's just being overly sensitive, you know, yeah, like, oh, or you know, like she's crazy or stuff like that. So I would just like I would just leave it, you know, I would just leave it like, oh, you know, like this is really not it, this shouldn't be it, but it's like yeah, like if I say this, if I bring that up, like they're going to see me in like this light, like, oh, you know, like I'm now going to be associated like with other females, you know, like the way they see other females, because like the way they see females is like, oh, you know, like overly sensitive, crazy ass, like and stuff like that, and like very emotional. And so I'm like, okay, like they don't see me in that light, you know, because like, you know, there's always the emphasis of like, oh yes, you're chill, you know, like you're cool and stuff like that. So if I bring this up, then I'm automatically going to be associated with other females and, you know, lose my superpower of like cool girl and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, I was, you know, I'll just be there, you know, just I would never bring that shit up. I'll just be like, oh, okay, you know, this really ain't it, but like we're really not trying to fuck with this, so like, yeah, you know, like let's chill. It really sucked because, you know, even in situations like where this guy is saying something that's like really offensive about another female, like really disrespectful, you know, like, and it's like I'm really uncomfortable with this, like, you know, like, yeah, I feel so uncomfortable with this, and like, you know, I feel really bad deep down because I know I should like come through and say something, you know, like I should be like defending her on like I should be out there being like, no, you know, and just like being like, nah, you can't speak about another female like that, like, you know, and kind of like draw the line somewhere. But I would just be like, you know, just like, oh, okay, you know, like this is uncomfortable and everything, but like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, we're going to make it through, you know, we're gonna get through this or something. Like everybody else here laughing, so it's like, yeah, and then I just come through and be like, oh, you know, and I'm like the designated female there, and I'm just like, oh, you know, this is offensive, and it's just like, yeah, you're just, you know, yeah, you're just being a female, you know. And there'll just be all these talks and generalizations about females and this and that, and it's like, okay, I should come through and be like, no, this, but it's like instead of coming through, I'm just kind of like sitting there and be like, okay, at least you don't see me in this light. Like, yeah, you see other females in this light, but at least you don't see me in this light. So there was always just that need like for like the separation, you know, that just made me feel, you know, better, you know. It's like, okay, you're talking down on another female, you're saying this about females and whatever, and this really sucks, but the fact that I'm not associated with like females in that sense, like I'm not associated with these other females, like I'm, you know, like I'm here, you know, like I'm the, not like other girls, you know, like I'm not like other females. So it's like, okay, I should just be happy and, you know, take this in, you know, and be satisfied with this. Yeah, that was like pretty shitty of me and stuff like that, but like, guys, I had to keep my fucking title, like I wasn't messing with that shit. Another way this whole pick me thing manifested is I didn't trust myself to be logical enough about certain views or opinions I had. So it's like I always had to seek out a male to like, you know, approve, you know, or validate and be like, what do you think, you know? Like in my interactions with females and everything, I would have like all these discussions and whatever, share our opinions on certain things and our views and whatever, and it's like, okay, this is making sense, you know, and stuff like that. But then I'll just be like, no, but I need a male opinion in this. And it wasn't necessarily because like, oh, you know, like this might be biased, like we might be biased. It was more of like, I just didn't trust us as females to be logical enough about these things, you know, like I'm just like, yeah, like I get this, whatever, but like, no, I need this, like I need the male stamp of approval on this, like I need it to be like, oh, okay, you know, I had times when I was super confident, like in my views and like my opinions and everything, and like I would like stand like so firm by them, like, you know, like in my female circles and everything, and be like, no, like this is this, you know, I had like that confidence. But you know, every time a male came around and was present for these discussions, I suddenly was not so confident anymore. It's just like, where is your confidence? You were saying this with your full chest, but I would start to doubt myself, like, oh, okay, I know I said this, I know I was very confident about this, but like, like, you know, type of vibes, like, you know, because it just like, you know, so it's like now I'm doubting myself, now I'm doubting, so I'm not even able to like bring up like these opinions with the same level of confidence that I had, like, you know, when I was interacting with my fellow females and everything, and like I wasn't able to like stand as firm, you know, in those views or in those opinions, you know, that like I like the same, like, baby, keep the same energy, you know, type of vibes, like keep the same energy, like you, like we had this discussion before and you was out there and you was getting it and I was there and there was confidence and I was firm, and then like immediately a male comes around and it's like, okay, you know, like we're not displaying the same level of confidence. Where is it, honey? Where is the same vigor you came with, you know, like you standing like so firm in your shit? Like, where is it? It would just all go, because I'm like, okay, I know I said this, you know, I know I did this, but I'm not so sure anymore, because it's like, you know, yeah, like maybe we are attaching too much, you know, emotions to this, you know, as females, or like whatever, or stuff like that, like, you know, like, yeah, like maybe we're just not being logical enough about this, you know, like even in situations like where I've presented like my opinion or like my views or like whatever, like to like a male and stuff like that, you know, and I still like, you know, like I still strongly disagree with him, you know, and what he's saying, and like just knowing how important these views are to me, I wasn't as firm as I should have been, you know. It's like, okay, I still strongly disagree with this, you know, you haven't really given me reason to like not, you know, but like, okay, you know, I'll just, you know, I wouldn't go as hard as I normally would, or as I would with a female. I'll just be like, oh, okay, you know, like, yeah, like it was the chilled, laid back, like I was just like, I was like, oh, okay, I'll just be there like, okay, yes, I disagree with you, but like I'm not going to like act all hysterical and crazy or whatever, like I'm just going to be like, you know, yeah, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be chilling, I'm going to be laid back. Let me tell you something, like guys, like let me tell you something, like let me tell you something, like the day you decide to stop seeking male approval is like the day you win. Like I swear to God, like it is the day you win. The day you just make the decision and be like, okay, you know what, you know, because you're really not worried about having yourself looking crazy in these streets, you know, you're really not worried about like, oh, you know, like I'm going to come off as like, no, you're really not worried about like feeding into this stereotype, you know, of like crazy females, you know, or like emotional females, you know, or raging hormonal monsters or whatever. Like you're really not worried about that shit anymore. So you're just like so fucking free. You're like, I finna say this, and I finna say this with my full chest, you know, like ain't nobody got time. I don't care what you think, sir. Like ain't nobody get time. Like I don't care. Like I don't motherfucking care.
We don't give a fuck!
Like I like it, like you just feel so free. Like you win, you know, like you just feel like I'm winning, bitch. Like, you know, you feel so fucking free. Like BJ's. I mean, just the way we've pretty much been raised to seek male approval, like as females, you know, from the way you present yourself, you know, from the way you walk, from the way you talk, from your ability to cook, your ability to clean, your ability to do house chores, like in general. It kind of all boils down to getting like the male stamp of approval. Like, yeah, like a man finding you attractive or desirable, you know, a man seeing you as worthy to be his wife. You know, I grew up not being able to perform this role of like a woman, you know, or like this idea that was instilled into us as females of like what a woman should be and everything. Like I grew up not being able to like perform that role, you know, or being able to be that, you know. So I started to feel like a failed woman, you know, constantly feeling like the lesser woman, you know, like I would never get like the male stamp of approval, like in that aspect, you know, like, you know, have someone like look at me and be like, you know, that like that's a woman, you know, like that's a woman, you know, like yeah, like have a male like view me in that light, like, you know, like the idea of like, you know, like yeah, this is ideal, like the ideal woman. So to get the cool girl title kind of felt like compensation enough, like okay, like I may be a failed woman, you know, like I may not really fit this idea of like woman, but you know, at least I make up for it like in this other sense, you know, like yeah, that's conversation enough, you know. It was like something to fall back on, you know, like we failed at this, you know, we can't be this, you know, like hectic, but at least you got this. And yeah, that was just like another reason why I was like feeling pressure like to maintain like this, you know, title of like cool girl and everything. And it was a lot, you know, like it was a lot, like it eventually just became like a lot. I started to feel so suppressed like in my interactions with males, like, you know, I kind of started to feel like suffocated and just like boxed in, like it was a lot, you know, because like I never got that feeling, you know, like in my interactions with females, because like there was no pressure to like deliver or live up to like this title that has been given to me. There wasn't that pressure there like in my interactions with females, but like with guys, like it kind of like always was there, you know, like yeah, like always trying to like come off as like okay, chill, you know. And like yeah, it's just been freeing, you know, like to be able to express myself more, you know, without worrying about, you know, like fucking title, you know, and everything. Like I don't want it, keep it. Two important subjects that I would like to bring about that like I didn't take like a firm stance in, because you know I was trying to maintain my cool girl card, feminism and sexual harassment. So I think we're all aware that like a lot of men just really demonize feminism and view it as just like a bunch of angry, bitter women who are trying to oppress men, when that's really not what it is. Feminism recognizes and acknowledges the social inequality that women face based on their sex and looks at ways to put an end to it. So yeah, feminism basically looks at putting an end to the discrimination of women based on their sex and ensuring equality for women in terms of opportunity, treatment, respect, and social rights. I mean, there are different types of feminism, but it all boils down to that central concept. So because feminism is pretty much demonized by a lot of men, and this is something that will come up a lot in my interactions with guys, like I was really not trying to identify with feminism.
Are you not ashamed of yourself?
You know, I would be there, I would defend it, you know, I would share my views, which are pretty feminist, like, babe, what are you doing? But at the end of it all, I'll be like, no, but I'm not feminist, you know, because like I didn't want to identify with that, because I knew that like, okay, this is something that's like demonized by men, and so like, you know, like in order to keep my cool girl status, I can't, you know, like I'm not trying to like, you know, I'm not trying to fuck with this like this title, and you know, like I'm not trying to fuck with the feminist title, so I'm just gonna, you know, yeah, like I'm this, but I'm not a feminist. Like it was such boundaries. Like, no, this, yes, I believe in this, I believe in equal opportunities for women and whatever, and I would have all these discussions, blah blah blah, and this and that. But at the end of it all, I would always have to add, but I'm not a feminist. Like it's such clownery. Like I cringe just thinking about it. I'm like, babe, what the fuck are you doing? Like this ain't it. Like I was just like out here like, no, I'm not really trying to identify with it. Like I'm sorry guys, but I'm not a feminist, because like yeah, I was giving like, what excuse was I giving? Yeah, I basically said there are certain views that I had that don't align with feminism, and it's like, huh? Which is like crazy, like which is crazy and like stupid and dumb, like, you know, because like at the end of the day, like I'm for the general concept of feminism. Well, there's certain views that I have that don't align with feminism. Like, which ones, babe? Because like regardless, you could fall in one type of feminism, you know, at the end of the day, because it all boils down to that one concept. But then there are different ways, like different types of feminism and different ways which people think would be best to put an end to the discrimination of women, like based on, you know, their sex, and bring about like equal opportunities and stuff like that. So it's like, what are you talking about, bitch? Like it almost feels like, babe, shut the fuck up. I cringe just thinking about it. How can you just like actively even say this like proud, like, you know, like with your full chest, like baby fucking girl, knowing like how far like we've come as women due to feminism, you know, like we wouldn't be where we're at right now, you know, being able to participate in all these important conversations, being able to vote, being able to vote, you know, having equal opportunities in terms of education, in terms of career choice, having access to birth control. Like, we wouldn't be where we're at right now, you know, if not for feminism, you know. I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but we have come a long way. Like, I knew all this, you know, like even being aware of like how far feminism has brought us as females, you know, like how far I've come as a female due to feminism. Like, I knew all these things, but I still like, I don't identify like bitch by. Like, how could I even proudly, like, just like,
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things.
the toxicity of it all. Like, child, what were you doing? Ugh, I hate it. I hate it. Like, I actually hate it. I hate thinking about it. It's just making me cringe so much. And in terms of sexual harassment, women's experiences are pretty much downplayed and invalidated by men. Like, oh, it's not that serious. Or like, no, this is not sexual harassment. So I took the same stance. Like,
Thinking about so many things.
problematic much. Like, I took the same stance, you know, of like, yeah, okay, this may be inappropriate, but it's not sexual harassment, or it's not a big deal, you know, like this, you know. Like, I took the same stance. Like, oh yeah, I mean, that's inappropriate, yeah, but it's not sexual harassment. And it's like, honestly, the circles you move in really count. That's all I'm going to say. Like, check your circles. Just check your damn circles. I think on this part, like, it was a lot of like, yeah, me trying to like still be like, oh, you know, like cool and chill, because it's like, this is not that serious, you know, trying to take the stance of like, it's not that serious, you know, like, yeah, you're overreacting, you know, just being females, you know, like but not me, you know, and stuff like that. But not me, like, you know, I'm not gonna label it as that, because, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you know, it was a lot of that. But it was also knowing how traumatic these things are, like having experienced sexual harassment myself and stuff like that, like knowing how traumatic it is. Like, there was a part of me that just didn't want to deal with how traumatic that actually is, you know, not wanting to deal with how traumatic these experiences actually are. So you're just like, okay, you know, I finna take the cool stance of it, because I'm not trying to deal with like, I'm not trying to deal with all this. So it was definitely both. It was a lot of like, yeah, you know, like just trying to be like chill and laid back, and like, you know, cool girl type of vibes. Like, yeah, guys, it's not that serious. I mean, come on, you know, like I'm able to think logically. These people are thinking from an emotional standpoint, like, you know, cool girl type of vibes and stuff like that. But then it was also just like not trying to deal with how dramatic this shit actually was for me. So yeah, it was toxic. Like, it was very toxic, you know. Like, yeah, like this whole cool girl vibe. Not only was I unable to express myself freely, but I was out here just like gaslighting myself and gaslighting other females, and like invalidating myself and invalidating other women's experiences. Not standing up for myself, not standing up for other females, just because like I'm still trying to be cool girl and stuff like that. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it was like a whole shit show. I'm glad to inform you guys that I am done with that. Like, I am done, dusted. I'm not trying to be the cool girl. Like, I don't want it. Like, take away the fucking title. Like, no. Just take away the fucking title. Like, I don't want it, you know. Like, I'm like very comfortable being associated with just being like your regular female now.
And I'm basic, and I'm average, and I'm girl.
Like, it's just, it's pretty chill. Like, ain't nobody got the time. A huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders, you know, not feeling obligated to just always have to play this role of cool girl, and just to like finally, you know, come into my own and just be like, yes, you know, like this is who I am, and owning it and saying it with my motherfucking full chest. So yeah, I'm very pleased about that. And yeah, anyway, so I want to wrap up this video, like being able to just like say these words, you know, proudly, confidently, you know, own this shit with my full chest and everything. Like, I finna say this, you know, it's all been boiling down to this moment, guys. It's all been boiling down to this moment when I can finally say this, okay? Yeah, my mustache is sweating, my face is oily the fuck, bitch. But anyway, yes, my names are Tukozile Chapomwale, and I am a feminist. I'm proud. I'm so fucking proud, I swear. Whew. I'm so fucking proud, I swear. Like, I love it so much. Like, saying these words out proudly, like, I love it, you know. I'm out in the open. baby motherfucking girl. I be out like, wow, we're here. Literally been thinking of putting feminazi in my bio because like, I mean like, comment down below if you want me to do it. But then no, I don't need like, I don't need your permission. I'm sorry. Like the fuck, ain't nobody got time. Ask for forgiveness, never permission. But still, I ain't asking for forgiveness because I won't even be apologetic about that shit. Why am I getting defensive? Ain't nobody got time. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I'm going to put feminazi in my bio. You know, like I might delete it like later on, you know, when I'm like, you know, it felt cute, my delete type of vibe. But I'm definitely putting that in my bio because like I'm very happy like to own this shit. Yeah, anyway, I have to go. If there are any of you who want to share your stories of like, you know, being a pick-me or like being the cool girl and like how it affected you, like feel free to, you know, comment down below or whatever. Thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to share, comment, like, subscribe. Yes, I'm out.